There is a spice so precious it earned the nickname red gold, the most expensive in the world.
And the reason isn't magic or rarity. It's one of the most astonishing stories of human labor there is, hidden inside a single golden pinch.
Things you've never seen now revealed.
This is World in Detail.
In the freezing dark, hours before sunrise, an army of workers kneels in a field in Iran. One, by hand, they pick tiny purple flowers, racing against the sun, because once it rises and warms the petals, the harvest is ruined. What they're gathering is, gram for gram, the most expensive spice on earth. It isn't a diamond. It isn't a precious metal. It's a spice, one that is probably sitting right now in a small jar in your kitchen or tucked away in a restaurant. Its name is saffron, and its nickname says everything: red gold, a spice that once rivaled gold itself. The question almost no one asks is, how do a few red threads from an ordinary-looking flower come to be worth a small fortune, almost like a precious metal? The answer will change the way you look at that golden pinch forever.
Let's start with the flower. Saffron comes from a flower called Crocus sativus, a delicate little purple bloom that flowers only in the autumn. And here is the first detail that already stuns people. Each of these flowers produces only 3 red threads at its center. Just 3. Those 3 threads are the saffron. Not the whole flower, not the petals. Only those 3 red stigmas, thin as a strand of hair, hidden in the middle. So if each flower gives just 3 tiny threads, imagine how many flowers you'd need to fill a single small jar. And this is exactly where the story spirals completely out of control.
To produce just 1 kilogram of dried saffron, you need around 150,000 flowers. 150,000. And every single one of them must be picked by hand, one at a time. There is no machine on earth that can do this work. People have tried, and no machine can pick the delicate flower and separate the 3 tiny threads without destroying everything. So even today, in the 21st century, with all the technology we have, saffron is harvested exactly as it was 1,000 years ago, by human hands, flower by flower. It's one of the last products in the world that the machine has simply never been able to conquer.
And the work is even harder than it sounds. The saffron harvest happens in a tiny window of time, roughly 2 weeks in the entire year. And within those days, the flowers must be picked before dawn, before the sun warms up, because heat destroys the delicate aroma of the threads. So picture the scene. In Iran, which produces nearly 90% of all the saffron in the world, armies of workers, many of them women, wake before sunrise, kneel in the freezing fields, and pick flower by flower, racing against the sun. A skilled harvester gathers around 6,000 to 8,000 flowers in a full day of work. And remember, 6,000 flowers yield only a small handful of saffron. After that, they still have to separate the 3 tiny threads from each flower, one by one, entirely by hand.
It's estimated that it takes more than 400 hours of human labor to produce a single kilogram. Now you begin to understand why a pinch of this costs a fortune. But there is a detail about this flower that is even more surprising, almost philosophical, and we'll reveal it in just a moment. First, you need to know something disturbing. Most of the saffron sold in the world is fake.
That's right. It's estimated that around 70% of the saffron sold in the world is adulterated or fake. Because the product is so expensive, and those red threads are hard to identify for anyone who isn't an expert, counterfeiters fill the jars with corn silk dyed red, with other similar-looking plants. Or they mix in powder from cheap substitutes. People think they bought red gold and carried home painted corn threads. There's even a simple home test. Real saffron releases its color slowly when you drop it in warm water, tinting the water golden little by little. And the thread doesn't fade instantly. The fake one bleeds color immediately, artificially. So if someone ever offers you saffron that's very cheap, be suspicious. Real red gold is never cheap.
And the price of this product is so sensitive that it behaves almost like a stock market. Because nearly all the world's saffron comes from one concentrated region, in northeastern Iran, any problem there affects the entire planet. An unexpected frost, a drought, a strange heat wave in one season, and the harvest collapses. When that happens, the price of saffron around the world can jump 40% overnight. It's a narrow market, controlled by a few hands, where the weather in one small corner of Iran decides how much you'll pay for that golden pinch on the other side of the world. Few products on Earth are so valuable and, at the same time, so fragile.
And now, that surprising detail we promised about the flower. The Crocus sativus, the saffron flower, is a sterile plant. That means it produces no fertile seeds. It cannot reproduce on its own, in nature. If every human vanished tomorrow, this flower would very likely vanish along with us. So how has it existed for thousands of years? Because over more than 3,000 years, human beings carefully selected and replanted the bulbs of the flowers with the longest, most beautiful threads. In other words, this flower is, quite literally, a partnership between humanity and nature. It depends entirely on the human hand to stay alive. It's one of the most intimate plants in our history, a living thing we help to shape.
So put all of this together in your mind. A flower that only exists because of human care. That gives only 3 threads each. That blooms for 2 weeks a year. That must be picked by hand before dawn, in the cold before the sun. 150,000 flowers for a single kilogram. 400 hours of labor. No machine that can replace it. When you look at it from this angle, saffron stops being an expensive spice and becomes what it truly is. Perhaps the agricultural product that carries more human labor per gram than anything else in the world. Every golden pinch is, in reality, a concentrated little piece of the effort, the tradition, and the patience of thousands of people.
And that is why, the next time you see saffron in a plate of golden rice, in a paella, or in that small jar on the supermarket shelf, you'll look at it differently. Because now you know. You know about the women kneeling in the freezing fields of Iran before dawn. You know about the 150,000 flowers. You know about the flower that cannot survive without us. That pinch of color isn't just seasoning. It's one of the most beautiful stories of how humanity and nature work together, hidden right there, in your kitchen. We spend our lives surrounded by invisible wonders. All it takes is someone to tell the story. And that is why we look at the world and the things that move it in detail.
Now tell me in the comments, had you ever used or tasted saffron? And did you imagine there was this much work behind a single pinch? Write it down. I read them all. If this story surprised you, leave a like, subscribe, and share it with that friend who loves to cook or travel. It's what helps this channel grow. And don't miss the next episode with another invisible product that moves the world and that you'd never guess where it comes from. See you there, here in World.